What's going on, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com bringing you a video today to share with you my recent trip to what is arguably the best Nike outlet store that I've personally ever been to, and that's because it wasn't just a regular Nike outlet, it's a Nike clearance outlet, which I'll explain in just a second. So if you want to see what I saw and what I bought, because I did actually buy some stuff this time, please stick around and watch the entire video. Also, if you guys enjoyed the outlet shopping series on this channel, want to see it continue happening, don't forget to support this video with a like. So what I visited was a Nike clearance outlet, which I had never been to before and I had never really heard of before. This particular one is located in Mississauga, Ontario, which is in the Toronto area in Canada, of course. And I believe this one opened only a couple months ago, so it is relatively new. Like I said, I've never heard of this particular concept, so I'm not sure if other ones exist in Canada or the US or other parts of the world. I'm sure they do exist, I'm just not exactly sure where they are. I would Google it if you're wondering if there's one near you. Anyways, the difference between a Nike outlet and a Nike clearance outlet, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've been to a Nike outlet store before. It's basically split up like this: 70% stuff that's on sale, and then 30% clearance. That goes for footwear as well as apparel. Well, a Nike clearance outlet is just 100% clearance products. So all of the apparel and all of the footwear is already marked down to a clearance price, plus you get an extra percentage off depending on what promotion they're running on that particular day. On the day that I went, it was clearance plus an extra 20% off for footwear at least. Everything else had some bigger discounts as well for apparel and some soccer balls and stuff like that. But the selection was absolutely gigantic. Imagine the clearance section at a regular Nike outlet and then multiply that by 10. That is the type of clearance selection that they had at this Nike clearance outlet. It was really, really cool, and I actually can't wait to go back. But wait until you see what I saw. As I already mentioned, please keep in mind that this is a Canadian Nike outlet store, so all the prices that you'll see on the boxes are in Canadian dollars and not in US dollars. But I will tell you guys the final sale price after all the discounts are applied, converted to US dollars, just because I think that keeps things more simple in terms of what everyone's familiar with on this channel, including myself. So just keep that in mind as you're watching these clips. All right, so let's get through this list because they had a ton of soccer stuff and I want to run you through all of it. The very first thing that I saw was actually a pretty unusual thing because I wasn't expecting them to have this based on how old this is and the fact that it is a limited edition release. It's the Neymar Jordan brand collaboration Hypervenom Phantom 2, the original black ones, which I think was the better looking of the two that they did. Didn't sell particularly well, but the original retail price was about $300 if I remember correctly, which is partially why I don't think it sold so well. Anyways, with the extra discount applied, these would have been $105 US, which is really cheap. That's like $200 off the normal retail price. They also had the Hypervenom X Proximo Indoor, which is the Phantom 2 Indoor in a really nice bronze colorway. Those with the extra discount would have been $49 US, which is really cheap considering those would normally retail for about 150 bucks. Then they had the Mercurial X Proximo, which is the Superfly 4 Indoor in a really nice chrome purple colorway. Probably one of my personal favorite colorways for the Superfly 4 run in general. That's a shoe that again would normally retail for 150 bucks. With the extra discount, these would have been $49 US, which is really cheap, and they had good sizes in that as well. They also had the Mercurial X Proximo 2, which is the current Superfly 5 Indoor, a shoe that normally retails for 175 bucks. These ones were black and green, a pretty interesting colorway. With the extra discount, they would have been $55, which is super cheap for a current Superfly 5 Indoor model. Then they had the Hypervenom X Proximo in a Safari colorway, the turf variation. Again, normally $150 retail, on sale with the discount for $49 US, really cheap. I'm not sure why I keep telling you guys this is cheap, because obviously it is, but I don't know, can't help myself. Then the Magista X Proximo Street Indoor with the leather upper. So this is the very first Magista Obra 1 Indoor when they first introduced the whole Proximo lineup in the first place. It was the only colorway that had the leather upper. And again, it's kind of old, so I'm surprised they had these in good sizes. That's a shoe that again would normally retail for 150 bucks. These were on sale with the extra discount for $49, which is really, really cheap. Then they had the indoor version of those Jordan Neymars that I showed you at the start. So the Neymar Jordan brand Hypervenom X Proximo, the indoor variation with the clear bottom, which I think looks really cool. Those were on sale for $84.99 with the extra discount converted to US dollars. They would have been 52 bucks, which is a great deal. Then they had the Neymar Hypervenom X Proximo, so the white, black, and red signature colorway. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember that. That was on sale with the extra discount for about $55 US. Then they had the CR7 Mercurial X Proximo 2 Chapter 3 colorway. This was marked down to $99.99 with the extra discount and converted to US. They would have been $62, which again is a really good deal because that particular colorway would normally retail for like, I want to say it would be $200 because it's a CR7 signature. Then they had another kind of older signature model that I wasn't expecting to see, the CR7 Mercurial X Proximo 1 in the Chapter 2 colorway. So the blue Superfly 4 CR7 color, those were marked down to $89.99 with the extra discount. Those would have been $55 US. Then they had the Magista X Proximo in the Safari colorway. So again, the Magista Obra 1 indoor. Those would have been $49 after the discount, which is really, really good. And then they had the Nike Roshe Tiempo 6 in this really, really nice green suede colorway. I actually wish I would have picked these up because I quite like the color of these. They were marked down to $69.99 with the extra discount converted to US dollars. They would have only been 43 bucks, which is really, really cheap for a shoe that would probably normally retail in the States for like $140, $150. Moving on, because there's actually a lot more, I saw the Nike Free Hypervenom 2 sneaker in a nice black and chrome color. It had a really cool chrome Nike swoosh. Those were marked down to $69.99 with the extra discount. Converted to US would have been $43, which is really cheap for those. A very, very comfortable sneaker if you ever come across those at an outlet store. Then they had the Magista X Proximo 2, a turf variation in a green and Volt colorway, kind of like a really dark, almost grayish green color. Those were on sale for $84.99. Now on sale for $52, converted to US dollars. Really, really cheap for, again, a current Magista Obra 2 turf model. Then they had something really unusual that I had never really seen before. It was the Nike Bomba X indoor in this orange colorway. It was marked down to $49.99. I'm not sure what the normal retail price would be, but with the extra discount, those would have been $31. Not exceptionally good quality, but for $31 to get a pair of Nike indoors, that's actually a pretty good deal. Then they had the Nike Roshe Tiempo 6 in a quick strike colorway, which just means that it's more limited, kind of comes out of nowhere. This was in a really interesting kind of green safari color. I actually really like those as well. They were marked down to $74.99 with the extra discount. They would have been about $46 US, which is really cheap. Then they also had another colorway of the Nike Roshe Tiempo 6, which given how many of these I'm seeing in outlets, I can't imagine that they were overly popular. I have a pair myself. I can't say that I've worn them all that much, but I don't think it's an ugly sneaker, but obviously people didn't really go for it that much. Anyways, this was in a really nice black, maroon, and gold colorway. They were marked down to $74.99 as well. So the discount price converted to US would have been $46. I really like the look of those. Then they had in the women's section a Superfly 5 in the launch white, blue, and orange colorway. This is actually a really nice colorway for the Superfly in my opinion. Those were marked down to $155, but converted to US dollars with the extra discount, they would have only been 96 bucks for a shoe that normally retails for $300. So that is over $200 off, a really good price for a pair of Superflies. And they had those in a pretty good size run as well, which is always nice to see. They also had the women's colorway of the Magista Orden 2, which I can't say is a shoe that I'm particularly fond of. They were on sale for $94.99, converted to US dollars with the extra discount. They would have only been $59. Again, for a soccer cleat that would normally retail for $175. So that's a pretty good deal, all things considered. They also had the women's Hypervenom Phantom 2 in a really interesting colorway, Volt and teal. Kind of unusual, but I can see a lot of people really liking the look of those. Those were discounted to $144.99 with the extra discount. They were $90 US, which again is really cheap for a shoe that would normally retail for $275. It is a top-end model after all. Then they had the Tiempo X Mystic 5 in the turf variation in black and orange. Those were discounted to $49 with the extra discount. Those would have been $31 US, which is really, really cheap. Then they had the Hypervenom X Proximo Turf in a nice white and black colorway, really, really simple. Those were discounted to $79.99, bringing the grand total price to $49 US after all the discounts would be applied. They also had the Nike Premier 1, which I only saw this particular one pair, so they only had the one size, but they were discounted to $69.99 with the extra discount. Those would have been $43, which is an awesome deal for a pair of Nike Premiers. Normal retail on those is about $110 US. So 43 bucks is really cheap. They also had the Mercurial X Proximo 1 Street, so the launch colorway of the Superfly 4 indoor as well. Really like the look of these, black and white in color with reflective bits. Those are discounted to $74.99 with the extra discount. They would have only been $46, which is pretty ridiculous. Then they had the Hypervenom Phantom 3 Low in the launch colorway. They only had these in smaller sizes, but anyways, they were discounted to $129.99. So with the extra discount converted to US dollars, those would have only been $80 for a shoe that normally retails for 250 bucks and is currently, well, is still a current top-end model, an excellent shoe for $80, so that was a pretty ridiculous deal. They also had the Superfly 5 in the Time to Shine pack colorway. A lot of Nike outlets are getting these. They had them at $154.99 with the extra discount. They would have only been $96 US, which is a great deal for, again, a shoe that normally retails for $300. They also had the Mercurial X Victory 6 in the laser orange colorway. These weren't heavily discounted, $74.99, bringing them to $46 US, which is still near 50% off. So that's a pretty good deal if you really, really wanted that particular shoe. Then they had the Mercurial Veloce 3DF in the bright green colorway with the black swoosh, normally $175, discounted to $89.99 with the extra discount, 55 bucks US for those. That's a pretty ridiculous price. And then finally, they had the Mercurial X Proximo 2 Turf in the launch colorway, so the very first colorway of the the Turf Superfly 5. That was discounted to $89.99 with the extra discount. They only would have been $55 US. I actually lied, there were two more things that I saw. They had the Magista X Proximo 2 Indoor in the solid Volt Yellow colorway, so the current Magista Obra 2 Indoor, normally $175 retail price. These were marked down to $89.99 with the extra discount. They only would have been $55 US. And then they also had the regular white Ordum 5 official match ball, normally a $160 retail. This was marked down to $79.99, so with the extra discount, it would have only been $49 US for the current Nike match ball, which is a pretty ridiculous deal as well. So you saw the soccer stuff that they had. Let me show you what I bought. Sneaker number one was this, the Nike Lunar Force 1 Duck Boot. This shoe normally retails for $165 US. It was discounted to $84.99, so with the extra discount, these were only 55 American dollars, which is pretty cheap for this particular shoe. I actually picked up a pair of these not too long ago, maybe even in a previous outlet video. I think they were samples of this exact shoe in kind of like an olive green color, but I really wanted them in black, so when I saw them, I had to pick them up. I really like this because it is kind of more of a winter boot. For those that don't know, I do live in Canada. I was at a Canadian Nike outlet store after all, and we get a fair amount of snow here, so winter boots are a must. And I really like this particular boot just because it's really comfortable. It's got a lunar outsole, so the comfort for walking around is really good. They're also relatively lightweight, considering how heavy duty a boot it actually is. Plus, what I really like about these is that the materials they're made out of never really look worn out. It's all leather here at the side. It's got kind of a more water resistant, warmer type material here at the top. And then this toe with all the little stars on there. I think it looks really cool. Plus, again, it just never looks like it's worn out. They're super easy to clean. It's got the extra grip there on the bottom, obviously still looking kind of like an Air Force One, but for the most part, really, really happy with these. And for $55, I couldn't not get them. The second thing that I picked up were these guys right here. This is the Fragment Nike Air Max LD Zeros. Now, this is a shoe that would normally retail for $210. I got these with all the extra discounts applied for $65 US, which is a pretty unheard of price for any kind of Air Max sneaker with the full length Air Max unit. But this of course is a Fragment collaboration, and I can't say that I'm too familiar with how well this particular one was received or sold. It ended up in a Nike clearance outlet, so I can't imagine it was overly popular. But for $65, I really like them. I was familiar with the shoe. I had seen it online when it came out about a year ago, but in person, I just really like the look of it. It's kind of got this Nike Cortez style upper with the older style Nike swoosh. I like the fact that it has the etched out Fragment branding right there on the back, but I also like the fact that they did still incorporate the flywire through the midfoot attached to the lacing system. It kind of has that combination of an old school upper and modern elements, obviously with the Air Max outsole being the big thing. I also really like the little writing they have there on the clear bubble towards the heel. I think that's such a cool little element to it. Plus they're super, super comfortable. Very simple sneaker, not really made for running. It's more so just for casual wear, but I'm really, really happy with this pickup for 65 bucks. I figured why not? I'm gonna wear them a lot this summer. The third and final sneaker that I picked up was this guy right here, the Nike Air Force 1 Ultra Flyknit. Not sure why I'm into Air Force 1 so much as of late, but these really caught my eye. I've actually had my eye on a pair of these for a little while now, but I didn't want to pay the full $150 retail price. That's why I was able to get these for $49 US after all the discounts were applied, which is exceptionally cheap in a colorway that I actually really like the look of. It's kind of got a combination of black and a few different shades of like olive green, army green, all knitted into the upper. I really like the look of it, and I think the one thing about this particular sneaker, if you've never held them in your hand and if you've had a pair of regular Air Force 1s before, they're usually very heavy. These don't weigh anything and they are so comfortable. I was so surprised. Once I put them on, I knew that I really wanted them, especially considering they were only 49 bucks. Not sure how much I'm actually gonna wear them, but I know that I really wanted a pair and I find them super comfortable, so I'm sure I'll find a reason to wear them. The fact that it has an all black outsole as well, I think is really cool, just because they're not really gonna look dirty or beat up, even if you wear them a lot. The strap at the top, I'm still not 100% sold on. I kind of have to see kind of how that works and how I want to wear them, but for the most part, super comfortable, really like the look of them, and they're just so light, which is kind of not typical of a shoe of this style. Anyways, guys, that concludes this video. Again, if you enjoyed the video and enjoyed this series, don't forget to support it with a like. As always, any questions for me or any suggestions for other places you'd like to see me visit to do some shopping, leave those suggestions and your questions down below. I'll do my best to get an answer out to you and read everything you guys have to say. Subscribe if you haven't already for more outlet shopping videos and daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. All my social media information is linked down below in the description as well. If you're into sneakers, kind of like what I showed in this video, I usually show what sneakers I wear on a daily basis in my Instagram story. So if you don't follow me there, again, that is linked down below in the description. Be sure to check it out. But other than that though, guys, thank you so much for watching. Glad you guys are enjoying the series, and we'll see you in the next one.